So hello everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of my website building series. This series will be broken down into 10 key sections, taking you through the process all the way from buying your domain, setting up your hosting, actually creating your website, and then finishing it off and making sure it's polished live and targets the correct audience. What I'm using to create this website is WordPress, hosting with Krystal, and then using Elementor for the builder. In this video, we're starting from the very beginning, and we're looking at buying your domain and setting up your hosting. For this website in this series, I'm going to be using an example of a plumbing business. However, whether you're starting your business, just looking to build a portfolio website, or just really having an online platform which you can call yours, this series is perfect for you. So let's get started. So the first thing to do is to find a domain for your website address, something like mybusiness.co.uk. So hosting is where your website files actually live on the web. However, what makes your website show up is the domain. So you really need both. Think of it like a shop where your domain is your name and your hosting is your actual building. There are a range of different hosting types, from shared to managed, but for most beginners, simple shared hosting works really well. So to buy this domain, I'm going to use GoDaddy, but you can also use sites like 123reg.co.uk or namecheap.com. So here's how you actually go about setting up your domain. So what you want to do is type the name of your business, and for my example, I'm going to go for clearflowplumbing.co.uk. So you'll load into GoDaddy, and you don't even have to sign in yet, but if you have an account, always do, so it's linked up. So you literally type in the domain and click search domains. From there, it will show you a list of different options that you might be able to go with. But for my example, I'm going to go with clearflowplumbing.co.uk because it's available. So what you do is you go down and make it yours. And from there, it will take you through to actually purchase the domain. If you have a good hosting provider, you won't need full domain protection. And also, similarly, if you already are looking to set up your email, I tend to use Google for this because I find it a lot easier and it links with everything. However, if you're looking at getting Microsoft, this is another way you can do it. So then you go through to continue to cart, and I'm going to go down for the year for this, but you can go for 2 or 3. And then all you do is you go through and you check out. So to summarize, a few quick tips when you're choosing your domain name is to keep it short, make sure it's easy to spell, avoid number of dashes if you can, and also choose a relevant domain ending, for example .co.uk or .uk. The main thing when choosing the domain is to avoid linking too closely to existing brands. So before you go to purchase anything, make sure you search the web and make sure there's nothing too closely related to it that might be in competition with your business. So linking to those example, a bad domain that I would not want to choose for this business is plumbersfastcheap247.biz. It's just way too long, too many dashes, too hard for people to remember, and it's just going to cause more problems down the line. Okay, so now I've got the domain. What I'm going to do now is buy the hosting. I use Krystal for hosting with most of my sites and my clients. This is because it's fast, it's UK based, and honestly it offers great support. But you can also check out SiteGround, Bluehost or Hostinger. I'll be creating more videos in the future about these different choices, so drop a comment in the comments below if you want to learn more about these different hosting choices and platforms. So now I'll show you how to buy hosting through Krystal, and then go through and set up with the domain you've just brought. So the first thing to do is to go to krystal.io. From there, you'll be able to sign up and create an account. And to be honest, I think there's a range of licenses, but honestly start with the basic one first and then build up slowly if you are choosing to get more and more stuff hosted. So click sign up. Hosting, web hosting, and then I've currently got the Ruby license, but go for this first one here. Once you got that, it will take you through to the portal, and here you'll be in the back end of your hosting provider. So from there, once you've got every bit set up, and they have a really good wizard that takes you through the whole process, you can go to My Services and then click Launch WHM. From there, click on List Accounts and click Create an Account. So what you want to do here is pick the domain that you chose. But there's one crucial step you need to do before this. You need to point it in the right direction. So you can do this by looking at list accounts and finding the IP address of your server. So as I mentioned, first you need to make sure your domain is pointing in the right direction, because as we mentioned previously, they're almost two separate things that need to be connected. So you'll go onto My Products and then click your new domain. From there, you can go into Domain Settings and click onto DNS. So these records help from everything if you're connecting it to WordPress hosting, like website hosting, or if you're trying to connect it to emails, to a CRM, anything like that. So click DNS and click Add New Record. So what you want to choose is a record, change the name and just put @ and then the value will be the IP address that you had. And then just click Save the Record. So you'll see it update the DNS. A really crucial thing to make sure you do is make sure there's no other records there. So you see here I've got it parked currently in GoDaddy. We want to make sure that we delete that and confirm. Cool. So now we can go back over to our hosting in Krystal, click create an account and put the domain in here. Also add in your email address that you want to connect it to. This will just be your work email address. Another important thing is to go to your mail routing settings and either have it on local mail exchange or automatic detection. I'd say keep it on automatic, and this might be, if you're having issues with your emails in the future, this is where you'll need to do in the back end. You'll need to go to the mail routing settings and change it there. So we'll just click create. From there it would have created your account. So you just want to go to cPanel, and that will take you through to actually getting the WordPress on your website. So scroll down all the way to WordPress Manager. Click on that, and then we want to install. And from here, just click Quick Install. This will install WordPress on your website. Once that's finished, go return to WordPress Management, and you can click Login. And you can see now the domain is clearly connected and the site is now ready to go. And that is fundamentally it. It will change depending on what hosting or domain provider you use. However, the process is always the same. What you want to do is you want to buy your domain, buy your hosting, and then you want to connect the domain to the hosting using your DNS records and a record specifically. So now you're officially ready to start building your website. In the next video, I'll show you how to install WordPress and connect your theme. If you found this helpful, click subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and drop a like or a comment below. I hope you found this useful. I'll be dropping in the description below links to GoDaddy and Krystal so you can set up your very first website also. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.